All right. Welcome. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I miss you guys. This is totally unplanned, and I pulled this off the cuff. I decided I was going to go live because I want to go live. And it's been a while since I produced some new content. Happy New Year's, Victoria. Happy New Year's to everyone that's joining the show. So happy that you could be here with me today. And yes, we are talking about cryptocurrencies and the government. So this should be an interesting discussion. Looking forward to finding out how many people are involved in crypto, how many people actually have tokens, have coins, and we're looking to continue and make this a regular segment on our show. I think that the interest has gotten so great in the space, and the fact that there's so many potential scams and people taking advantage of other folks out there that I definitely want to come here and have some conversation. So, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year, Sonia. Happy New Year, Stephanie Richardson Parker. Thank you guys for joining me. As always, hit the like button. This is going to be interesting. So if you've got to run, don't worry. You know already this will be on my channel, so no worries. But what we're going to cover is, believe it or not, I had an experience that happened to me right just before the Thanksgiving holidays, and so I wanted to come on and share that experience. For the last probably 2 months, I have been after we released PAL, after I released 3.0, I've really spent most of my Christmas and New Year's holidays reading several books. One of them, which is this book, Venture Deals. Another book that I'm reading is The Dollar Crisis. And the other book that I'm reading, I don't have it here, is Secrets of Sand Hill Road. And all these books are books on investing in government, well, investing in companies, right? Learning how to structure deals, invest in companies, because part of my plan for 2022 is to invest in small businesses that are already up and running, established firms, and taking them into the government contracting arena. My target business size is about $10 million that I want to work with and up. Preferably, I like to be around the $20 million range, but there are some good opportunities at $10 million revenue businesses that I can help take them into the pro marketplace. So I've been learning and educating myself this whole time as well. But today we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about Bitcoins. And again, as always, Happy New Year to those that are just joining us. Hit the like button if you can. And also tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your business, tell us your industry, and tell me where you're at. Do that for yourself because, again, with Omicron going crazy, I don't think that there's no one that's on this call that at this point does not have a personal friend, family member, immediate family member, cousin, sister, whatever, that doesn't have COVID, because my niece has COVID, my son had COVID, my niece's girlfriend had COVID, uh, a friend of mine, he was just on a plane with a girl from England, had COVID. Uh, Maria's brother has COVID. So, like, everyone that I know has COVID at this point. So definitely use this time wisely. Share in the chat again who you are, what you do, because as we're talking, as we're having conversation and dialogue, then we'll be able to come back and maybe reference some things that helps you. Yes, Victoria, that's right. We never stop learning. And of course, blockchain, cybersecurity, and government, exciting times. And it is an exciting time. Listen, I had this experience that I was with my friend 2 days ago, and he told me that he actually had 2 Bitcoins in a laptop computer that won't turn on. And if anybody knows what Bitcoins are going for today, I think they're at 47,000 a coin. To have 2 coins locked away is about $90,000 that is on a computer that cannot open. So listen, this is exciting. I've been diving in. I would love people who are more experienced in the space, who understand this, to definitely chime in, participate, because these conversations, I think, are critical and necessary. And CK said, okay, so he just needs a hard drive. Well, this guy is super smart, like a genius. He's got 13 patents. So I think he probably knows, maybe he's just telling me that. Maybe there's more to it than that, but he's got the stuff. So yes, listen, let me know who you are, Sonia. See, Sonia follows instructions. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're at. Okay, your industry, your space, so that we can help you. And also hit the like button. So welcome, welcome, welcome today. This is an exciting topic. And again, like I said, stay around because similarly to my friend, I did not realize that in 2018, I had invested in some tokens and I discovered them last year around November. So we're going to share that experience coming up in a little bit. But let's talk about what is the government doing and what's the government saying and how's the government looking at this. So interesting enough, this article, as you see, was published December 30th. So it's literally like last week before we all went on the holidays. By the way, did everyone have a good holidays? Did everyone have a great holidays? Anybody have any holiday stories, funny things that they want to type in the chat that happened? Maybe it's unconventional, untraditional holidays. Maybe, I don't know, someone's family member did something crazy or wild. Just, type it in the chat. We'll put it up on the screen. We can share. So back to the government side. So getting back to the side on the government, this is an interesting article here where the young lady points out that the government is finally trying to come around and understanding. This is pretty cool. They're looking at the value hearing from the private sector, so people like us, recognizing that exchanges and other industries are the ones that are front lines, and they're going to be ones critical to preventing the abuse of cryptocurrency by sanctioned persons and or bad actors. And so when I read this and we think about the government, I remember when I was trying to do wireless technologies and the government said people are going to steal your stuff, they're going to drive around with these detectors and steal your information, steal your passwords, steal your stuff on computers, and they're always like trying to protect us from ourselves. And that's the same thing that is they're saying here in the government in terms of cryptocurrencies. So it's our job, right, as consumers, as people that understand this, like CKOK, to educate the government on these particular technologies and these solutions and how they can serve to benefit people, right? So I think it's our job. They're already, look what they're concerned about. On the enforcement side, Digital Currency Council noted that significant recovering majority of Bitcoin Colonial Pipeline paid to ransomware perpetrators. So again, they're focusing on the negative. And then going here, that they actually hired a person to start a digital currency initiative, says Corber. And they're referencing that they made successful seizures and forfeitures last year, and eventually this will trickle all the way down to local police and worked on salaries, DOJ. And I think there's a sufficient amount of attention that's going to be needed for cryptocurrency. And I say all of this to say that the government, from their standpoint, right, they're thinking about bad actors, they're thinking about the negative side of it, and not all of the benefits of what the blockchain does. Oh, look at that. Hold on. That's good. Look at that. Someone went to Guatemala to check out the ruins. That must have been a cool experience. I've seen the ruins, but never in Guatemala. So that sounds like fun. So interesting enough, we go over here and it says that the government's looking into for small business to help move routine process of some nascent research into related hardware hacking techniques. So the government already put out a request to a small business to determine how can they hack crypto wallets. Does everyone know what a wallet is? Yes, no? Does anyone know what a wallet is? Maybe I should ask that question before we can talk. How many people out here, you could say in the chat, raise your hand if you know about crypto wallets, if you know about, I know you heard about it, but how many people in here actually are familiar with crypto wallets? Because I don't want to talk over anybody's head. I want to make sure that we're all talking in the same place. Raise your hand in the chat. You know what a wallet is? No, yes, no. Thank you for asking questions. So CK, okay, all right. So crypto wallet, and I have, I'll show you here on my phone. Hold on a second. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, good. So we're gonna have to talk about, we're gonna have to spend some more time on this. So on my phone, I have what's called wallets, right? They look like apps, and they're places where when you're purchasing cryptocurrency, that you store them um, on your phone securely away from access from anyone to be able to get the information. Um, and so what's happening is if you think about a lot of the cases where the government has someone does something bad and they have to ask Apple to go into their phones, right, to get out like their messages and things like that. And Apple does not allow the government to go into their phone. So think of your wallet as the same way, like how the iPhone is, where people can't get in and it's super secure. Your wallet's the same way. It has actually a. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can see it really good on the screen. All right, let me show you on the screen. So in here, I'll zoom in. Hold on. Okay, so in here, this is my wallet, and it shows you in here the tokens that I own inside the wallet. And so what happens is whenever you buy tokens, which are like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ethereum are the ones that people hear about a lot. But whenever you buy the tokens, this is where you store them outside of the traditional exchanges. You store them on in a wallet. So there's wallets that are on your phone. There are certain wallets like this wallet that's looks like a USB, and you could store it that's not connected to a device, that's not connected to the internet. Or there's also wallets that are stored on your computer, like MetaMask and Kepler wallets, which they're stored up there on your actual computer. But the point being, they're super secure and no one has access to it, right? So no one has access to it except yourself. So interesting enough, the government put out a request for someone to develop a technology. So it says here is to break into wallets. Can you see that? The Congress to combine leading-edge cybersecurity research available on the topics of embedded hardware exploitation with the discipline established science of digital forensics. We're not going to talk today about it, but from everything that I've read and I've studied, um, I'm trying to figure out how to say this simplified manner. The people that have developed the technologies for crypto and for tokens, from all of the things that I've read and I've researched, they also are ensuring the security of your tokens, your coins, of your investments as well. And so you might have heard about mining and mining fees and people having these computers in their houses and they're making money off of mining, things like that. Well, the point being is that before any transaction happens, there's a lot of other computers verifying the validity of that transaction. And so it's really difficult unless you actually give someone your information for them to take it from you. So that's kind of what the point of what I want to make. But let's go into the what the government's looking at is how do they get access to this? Because why? They want to tax it, right? I mean, let's be honest with you. The government wants to tax our everything that we do. In fact, if you look here in this particular section of the article, it says in October, lawmakers wrote to the leaders of the Justice, Treasury Departments, Homeland Security, noting their progress in crypto space and asking where they can be of assistance. And then that's when the IRS, particularly, what's the IRS do? Taxes. Issued a request to apply new research on physical devices for cryptos that they say could be crucial investigations. So what's fascinating is that on the positive note, the U.S. government, kind of like what my man said here, okay, the US government itself has created very favorable policies for us citizens having tokens, having coins, and using this as a form of currency. So right now, we do have very favorable policies for that, us having these tokens and having these coins in order to support. So what they're trying to do is they want to stay ahead of the curve because they don't want to fall behind in China and other places. And eventually we have to go there and buy our coins, buy our tokens, and trade currencies. I can tell you from an experience that I had. I was just before, I think it was Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, I was actually in Costa Rica. And in Costa Rica, you can pay in Bitcoin, right? Now, let's talk about what else is happening in the space. And then we'll get to my story. I think the story is pretty fascinating. Let's talk about this, what's else happening in the space. If you haven't already noticed, right, they are having conferences, and particularly in Miami, because Miami actually has their own token right now. But we've got a lot of conferences and events coming up. Look, January 17th, Bitcoin conference. April the 6th, Bitcoin 2022. Blockchain event in Fort Lauderdale, February the 8th. Mining Disrupt conference in July. Blockchain in April. So we've got a lot of events coming up. Maybe you haven't noticed, but the staple arena has been turned into the crypto.com arena. Look at that. So this is happening, and we're going to spend a lot more time talking about it. In fact, Maria's on here. Maria just bought her first NFT yesterday. So we're not going to get into all of the nuances of everything, but I wanted to give you an overview and some perspective so we can have some future dialogue and that people can ask questions and comments about what it is that you're interested in learning, what it is that you want to know, and how can we help you. The other thing is fascinating is look at this. Kevin Durant signs a deal to promote crypto platform Coinbase. So Coinbase is a platform where you actually take your money and you put on this platform and it allows you to buy tokens, very similar to Robinhood or Webull. Those that allows you to trade stocks. Coinbase is a platform that allows you to trade in cryptocurrencies, much like crypto.com is. But let me show you some other stuff that's happening here. Coinbase becomes the first crypto platform of USA Basketball. So now they're a sponsor of basketball. And hold on, wait. Something else that's interesting, right? So this is Coinbase. In fact, I'll show you Coinbase on here. If you look and you look at the games that was played over Christmas, I'm going to make this big so everyone can see it. Look at that basketball goal. You guys see the basketball goal there? You see Lakers? You see CarMax on the ground? Do you see the referee? Look on the side of that and see what it says on the side of that thing. It says Coinbase. You guys see that? Anyone see it? Can you guys see it? No? Yes? No? Give me some interaction. 26 people watching. Hit the like button. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Talk to me. I want to let people know what's going on because I want you to, as always, remember, I want everyone to be ahead of the curve. I don't want you to try to figure this out after the fact. So, there you go. Thank you, Nicole Reed. Maybe you can do a tutorial on moving digital assets from Coinbase to a cold wallet. Absolutely, we can do that. But Nicole, it's funny because what's interesting is that even what you wrote is like advanced. So even what you wrote, Nicole, which I love, thank you for chiming in, is actually super advanced for probably the majority of people on here that's listening. So I think we want to like break them in slowly, but we'll definitely do a tutorial on moving digital assets from Coinbase to a cold wallet. So, but yeah, I just want to show you guys that. And also let me give you my story and what happened to me, right? So this is pretty cool. Somebody says, is the government trying to make cryptocurrency mandatory? No, August, they're not making it mandatory. what's happening is, and this is interesting, I've been telling a lot of people this book in 1971, Ronald Reagan was the president, and Ronald Reagan, and I think it was the president of France. At that point, our money was pegged to gold. Gold was the standard, and I believe it was the president of France. Don't quote me, but it was one of our foreign adversaries that decided that we owed them so much debt, and they wanted their money, so they sent ships over to the United States to collect on their gold because they said money was worth gold. So interesting enough, that's when we decided to unpeg our dollars from gold. And then we created fiat money and we basically started printing money. If you continue to read up on the topic, you will learn that, in fact, the majority of all dollars printed in our history was printed in the last couple of years. Like 60, 70% of all of our dollars were printed in the last couple of years. So what's happening, August, is that at some point, right, and you've seen this in other countries where the dollar basically, not their, I say dollar, but I mean their currency went to zero, right? There's been countries where this has already happened. So I think to answer your question, it's not that they're making it mandatory. You can look and see that banks are already not wanting to accept more deposits in terms of dollars because they don't have any physical places to actually store all of this printed money, right? If you look at the coins and what it costs, I believe the penny is already more expensive to produce the penny, but I think it's even getting more expensive to produce the nickel than what the value of the actual coin is worth. So what's happening is everyone is trying to understand this. Everyone is trying to understand what it does and how it works. But what this person mentioned earlier here, blockchain and cybersecurity, there's a real utility or a real, I would say, these tokens are not just like trading like lottery or like when you go to a casino. There's actually companies behind them and there's actually things that they do. They operate, they actually produce things, they produce goods. They whether they're used to make support, and we'll talk about that in the future, but they actually do things, right? And we'll give you some examples of what they do, but it's not just a random token or coin that's worthless. There's a company behind it that actually does something, and it's our way of funding and supporting that particular company, that entity. So we'll talk about that, and then the technology that, like what they mentioned here, the blockchain. Again, there's a use case for what it does and how it does it. Look at Nicole. Got it. Started this journey last February with Dogecoin and then became a believer and moved into other projects, learning tons, investing coins. It's like investing in software. Very well said, Nicole. Investing in coins, like investing in software. I actually, and we'll talk about that. I actually bought a course, Nicole, on cryptocurrency. So I bought a course from someone that I look up to and that I follow and support. And he taught us about buying coins that are not on market coins, right? So off market coins, and they call them next generation coins. And so we'll get into that and we'll share some of that in upcoming videos. But I definitely want to have the conversation and dialogue and start discussing all these different topics because I think it's super important for us to understand this as we evolve and in all aspects of our life and all aspects of our business. So I just want to share that with folks out there. Carter says Microsoft is a major partner, blockchain and cybersecurity for U.S. government. That's true. But remember, Carter, when we look at, like, for example, the JEDI contract, the government just put out a recent cloud-based contract, but they got rid of JEDI, and now they put out another contract for cloud services. But Microsoft is one of the partners with Amazon, Oracle, and Google, I believe it is. So, yep. So let's what's going on, Ken? Welcome. Olivia says property's going up. Gee, I wonder why all the mills are purchasing land. Olivia, property is insane. It's out the roof right now. Like it is insane. But let's go through. I want to give you guys I want to tell you about the title of this, which is like my journey into crypto and how I started getting so crazy about it. What happened to me. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna show you something. I like to share. Sharing is caring. By the way, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. We're gonna probably do a 1 week. What I want from everyone watching is to what I'd like for all of you is to tell me what it is that you want to learn, what is it you're interested in. I'm going to be attending these conferences in Miami coming up. I'm going to be bringing on speakers to talk about this more. We want to open up people's minds and ideas, and we want people to be informed because just like with the government side, in terms of there being bad actors that they claim, out of all these coins and tokens, 90% are going to go to zero, right? Out of all of these NFT projects, 90% going to go to zero. So the majority of all this stuff is going to be worthless because random people can, or random companies can produce coins that have no value and have no utility. And so we want to teach you and educate you so that you don't get caught up in some of those type of, like they call it, bad actors. But definitely listen, as if you're watching this, the replay, leave me comments, leave me feedback, let me know what it is that you want to learn. Nicole already suggested about taking your money and moving into a wallet, but then we want to get into other things, Nicole, like, hey, let me show my screen. So we want to get into other things like how do you swap coins, right? How to use these protocols. Where do you go to buy coins that are not listed on the exchanges, and more. So we're going to get into all of that. Not today's video, but next time around. So let's jump in real quick. I think this is super cool. So actually, let me go there. So this year, I was setting up an NFT. This year, I got a friend of mine that's an artist. He paints. And if you remember, I had that shark painting over the back of my wall. Well, that's one of the guys that I partnered with on government contracts. And he heard about NFTs, and my buddy was talking about NFTs. So I said, let me go through and see if I can set up an NFT for him. And then going through that process last year, I think it was October, there were some things that I was learning about. Nicole said, "There you go. Now you're talking advanced." Yeah, Nicole, I know. We're gonna get there. We'll get to the advanced stuff. So in the process of trying to set this up, his NFT, which is a non-fungible token, which is basically like a JPEG image on a computer that you sell, I realized that I'm like, wait, I've seen this stuff before. I've seen Coinbase. I'm like, I've seen this stuff before. So I went into my email and I typed in the word Coinbase, and look what had popped up. Can you see this on the screen? So it says in September of 2018, you purchased $1,000 of ETH, now available on your account. September of 2018. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I did not even know I had this stuff. I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know nothing. Okay. So I didn't even remember this even existed. So it was, look what time it was. It was 1:43 in the morning, right? Can you guys see it? Let me zoom in. Look at that. 1:43 in the morning. I purchased $1,000 worth of this stuff. I didn't know what it was. So look, at the time, I paid 218 bucks and it gave me 4.5 ETH. Again, I don't know. I'm following this guy who was talking about motivation and lifting yourself up and being positive. And so he said, hey, if you've got some extra money, put it over here. Okay, all right. Whatever you say. So I bought this, didn't remember I did it, didn't think anything about it, and basically forgot it until this past year. Does anyone know what ETH goes for now? Anyone? Anybody know what ETH is going for? $3,500 a token. Yes, Jared, it was 4K. Oh, my man Jared's on. Yes, it was 4K last week. Now it's 3,500 a token. And I bought 40. I had 4.5 of them. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Ken, for pointing that out. ETH stands for Ethereum. So I bought this stuff and I had no idea what I was even getting into. No idea. No idea what I was getting into. So this is one of the when you talk about major coins, you've got Bitcoin and Ethereum. These are the two major well-known coins. And so I had no idea what I did, but at the time it was like 4K. And so when I looked up and that when I went to that account, by the way, my email was to an old email address. So when I was trying to like get into the account, they were sending me my new passwords and they were sending it to my old email address that I didn't have access to anymore. So I had to do a whole bunch of stuff. And basically, after about a week and a half of going through customer service and things like that, I finally was able to get access to my account, and I had $20,000 in that account. And I was like, "Whoa, what did I just do?" Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yvette, what a great discovery! Found money. So since that time, right, I've been like going crazy with learning and studying and understanding. And by the way, I think someone mentioned here, beginner basis, what I want to learn. Where do you start? I'm a book reader. Yvette, we're going to go into beginner basics. We'll talk about that. Today, I just kind of want to tell you, today, for everyone coming on, I wanted this to be like my transition to when I start discussing beginner basics, Yvette. I want you to understand the story behind it. I want people to understand when we start doing, and I plan to do probably 1 or 2 videos a week on this subject matter, if not more. So I just wanted this is like my coming out and giving the backstory so you know why it is that I, 1, support it, 2, believe in it, 3, invest in it, and 4, plan on teaching it because we really see it and having an understanding of what happened in the past with the dollar and inflation, knowing that this is nothing new. And this is can potentially happen again. And if you're on my IG, I posted that billionaires are now investing in crypto as a way of hedging in case all money goes to hell. So I don't want regular people to get left out because of their lack of understanding and a lack of information and the fact that the people that they know and trust are not preparing them for what's coming ahead. So yes, Yvette, we do plan on having more of this conversation, but today is more of the backstory. That makes sense? All right. So now, da-da-da. All right, got it. Good stuff. All right. So then when I discovered that, I was like, whoa, this ish works. So then I was like, look, let me dive in. And by the way, for anyone who's curious and who wants to learn from a professional that I know who actually has been on CNBC, who actually bought Bitcoin back in 2013, James Altucher is the person that I subscribe to. That's the person I stand behind. He's the one that's teaching all the advanced techniques. And so I've been learning a lot from him amongst others. But if you want to learn from the best, he is probably one of the best. If you can go back to 2013 CNBC, when he was on CNBC, he was a former hedge fund investor, former private equity owner, and he ran a private equity fund. And he was on CNBC talking about this in 2013 and his justification, and they were calling him a scam. So if you want to learn, he's got a program. It's not cheap, but we'll be talking about this on YouTube, and we'll also be talking about this. We're going to create our own Discord, and we'll be talking about this as well because we are planning on not only helping inform and educate the people in this, we also want to create our own projects as well. So we will be working on our own NFT projects in the very, very, very near future as well. So that way, uh, everyone here that already knows me and knows what I stand for, they can participate in this as well, right? We don't want you to be 3 years from now and then you're trying to figure this out and understand it, and it's kind of already past you. It has not, trust me, it's still in its infancy stages. It's still brand new. There's still a ton of opportunity out here, a ton of room to grow, to learn, to thrive, to be able to make money and be successful. So uh, that's kind of the gist of it. Michelle has a question. Happy New Year's. What are your thoughts on buying land in the metaverse? So, Michelle, I actually think it's a great idea to buy land in the metaverse. I almost bought land in the metaverse myself. Uh, I was this close to buying land in Sandbox, but what I decided was that I really want to double down on my learning of next generation tokens and coins. And also, I wanted to double down on my learning of NFTs. And so for me, I decided to go that route because uh, even in my real life, I own real estate and property. I don't own land because for me, land never really had value because you just have to wait. You can't actually do anything with land. So for me, I never even bought land in real world. So I just, unless you got a lot of extra money, it just didn't, for me, it didn't make sense because there's other projects that you can invest in that make money immediately, like NFTs, right? So there's other projects where you can actually take your money and make it start working for you, like right away. And land is not one of those. So for me, I just never believed in land. Carter says, buy the dip, buy more, buy the dip. Oh, no, 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 no. Listen, I'm loading up, Carter. Trust me, I'm loading up, and I've already have a substantial contribution right now in tokens, and I'm looking to do 5x that this year. So I'm gonna have probably $250,000 to 300,000 in tokens very, very, very soon. So, and I'm talking about invested, not in what they went up to the value in terms of what I put in of my own money. So, but at the same time, I'm helping everybody. Like Maria's got money invested. Over the Christmas holidays, I gave all of my family crypto. My mom, my sister, my two brothers, my nieces. Um, so I've given all of them crypto for Christmas. No one got a physical gift from me. Everyone got a wallet, crypto wallet on their phone. And if you're new, you're just joining us today. So everyone got these crypto wallets on their phone from me. I set them up a wallet. I made a deposit into their accounts, and I bought next generation tokens on exchanges that were not listed, and I showed them how to do it. So everyone that was over my house, including my niece's mom, which is my brother's baby mama, I gave her crypto because I believe in it that much. So everyone's got crypto for my family. My little kids got crypto. Everyone has it, and so I want all of you to have it. And I've been talking about it so much that I just want to really come on and share those experiences with folks out here and get people to start asking questions so we can start having conversations. And then also, similarly like what we did on the government contracting side, have folks tell me what is it that you want to know more of. Let me bring on the experts and the professionals. Let me leverage my platform to bring on people to come on and talk to us about this. People have been successful. So, like Gilbert said, hit the like button, please. This is a new topic. It's a new day and age for us. We're going to continue to talk about government contracting because, again, government contracting is secure. But think about this way. The way I see it, I was actually before learning about this marketplace, I was actually talking about, if you remember 2 years ago, a year ago, going the venture capital route and raising capital to help invest in government contracting businesses. Now, the way that I see it is I can create my own projects and raise my own money to invest in government contract businesses because those are still solid businesses. And if you missed at the very beginning, one of my goals is to, if you're listening to this, you weren't on it when we first chimed on, part of my goals for this 2022 is to make investments and strategic partnerships with companies that are at a minimum doing like 10 million a year, where we help take them into the government contracting arena and grow their business, leveraging the power of government contracts. Because again, that still by far is the most secure type of contracts that a person can have. Other thing, just to kind of plug it in, right around Christmas time, if you didn't notice, we did launch our 3.0 course. So if you missed out on 1.0, you missed out on 2.0, we did launch 3.0 course just before the New Year's. We did make a lot of fanfare. If you're on the email list, we sent it out. So the 3.0 course bundle is now live on our website, govt.edu.com/courses. You can find it there. Let me go to it. The 3.0 course is in fact, hold on, pull it up. Give me a second. Drop questions in the chat. Let me know. Keep talking. I don't want to be. So we did launch our 3.0 course. This is what it looks like. These are our 3 topics: foundation, marketing, bidding. Here's our live Q&As. 2021, 2020, 2018, 2019. Here's topics on bidding, supplier credit, proposal writing, estimating, IDIQs, business law of the FAR. Here's where we discuss marketing, target market list, business development, prime subcontract, 8A BD, contract opportunities. And here's your foundation, a bunch of resources as well. So we did launch 3.0. It's out. You can purchase it now. What's fascinating is that just like we just passed Christmas, right? The fiscal year for the government, the end of the fiscal year starts in June. So you have 6 months right now, 6 months to prepare yourself, to prepare your company, to prepare your clients for all that's about to happen in terms of government contracting. By the way, shout out to Women of Linux. I just realized I didn't even give them no shout out. Women of Linux, what's up? So, but you right now, you have ultimately 6 months to prepare yourself and your company for the end of the fiscal year. So that's not a lot of time. The other thing I want to say about the 3.0 course is that we have, we're going to have speakers speaking once a month, at least, sometimes twice a month. We're going to have experts talking about different subject matters like state and local contracts, people who are professionals in those arenas. We're going to have them come in and speak to our members directly to be able to talk and engage with them, attorneys, and what else? What else we got on here? I have to go look it up myself and see who else we have. Joint ventures. Hold on. Let me find out all the subjects we're talking about. Give you guys some ideas. 1 second. All right. Construction contracts with large primes, strategy for getting federal certifications, create joint ventures for pursuing government contracts, building relationships with federal KOs and end users, how to set up sales funnels to close government opportunities, building our social media presence to look at real business, building past performance to get corporate contracts, contracting with local primes and school districts. So we're having all type of speakers coming up this particular year. So that's going to be a big difference from our previous 2.0 and 1.0 programs, in addition to all the additional content that we have on there. And if you feel like you don't need training and you're beyond training, we have our new program, which is PAL, Partnership Access and Lifeline. That's more of an advanced program. It's an inner circle where you're working directly with me one-on-one in a small group format to actually go after contracts. So if you're like, hey, Eric, I've got my team, I've got my organization already, and I just really want to do deals. I don't care about any of the training stuff. PAL is the program that you need from me, because that's where my students that are already successful, they just want to be more successful. So that program is also out now. And again, you can visit everything at govt.edu.com/courses. You'll find all that information. And if you have any questions, give us a call, 786-477-0477. Give us a call. at that number. If you have any questions about any of the programs, courses, coaching, anything that we have, we've tried to answer pretty much respond to people, meet them where they're at. So again, if you need a 30-minute call with us, you could do a 30-minute call with one of our coaches. If you need help with Sam, we're now helping you with Sam. If you need help with capability statement, we're helping you capability statement. So we're trying to accommodate people because we want to see you succeed. We believe in government contracting the same way that I believe completely, unequivocally in crypto. Government contracting gave me the funds to be able to invest my money in crypto and tokens and NFTs. So let me, by the way, if you are interested in crypto tokens, I tweet out a lot of stuff on Twitter. And let me show you guys something else that I forgot. Let me show you this. I think this is really cool. And Nicole Reed, are you still on? Nicole Reed, are you still on? Nicole Reed. Excuse me. I'm going to show you guys something. I think it's pretty funny. All right. About a week ago, I was on Twitter. And this is my account on OpenSea. And I bought these characters. These are NFTs on OpenSea. This is a platform for buying NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So I'm here, and I was on Twitter, and Gary Vee tweeted that he liked this particular collection called Alien Friends. So I bought it, and literally this was Sunday, okay? This was Sunday. I bought it on Sunday. I was up. It was like 2, 3 in the morning. I was up. And so I bought this collection. And I wanted to buy 2 or 3 of them, but I didn't have enough money in my accounts to send out to buy these things. So I was only able to buy this one here. All right. So you see here, this thing is called Alien Friends. And it's really, like people say, it's just a JPEG image. But I bought this and I paid here. You see what it says? You see what it says to me? I paid 0.77. You guys see that? You see what I paid? 0.77 Ethereum. So if you do the math, 0.77 Ethereum is 4,000. So I paid, let's do it real quick. 4,000 times 0.77. So at the time, Ethereum was a little bit down, so about $3,000. So I bought this character for about $3,000, right? I bought this character about $3,000 on Sunday, but without even doing math, you see I paid 0.77 for it. So see, I paid 0.77. Now, again, I was listening to a tweet. This past weekend, I said, I'm going to buy me an NFT. I want to learn about NFTs. I'm going to buy me an NFT. So I was like, all right. So I start researching. And I was up all night. And then I saw this tweet from Gary Vee. And Gary Vee, if you don't know Gary Vaynerchuk, he's really big into the space. Twitter. Let's search. Gary Vee, he's huge. He's got a huge following on Twitter. So Gary Vee had tweeted out about this collection, and you'll see he's big into this NFTs now as well. So he tweeted out about this collection here, right, called Alien Friends, and I bought it. There you go, Carr. That's right. He owns V Friends collection. So I bought this thing for about $3,000. So you see what's happening? Do you see that chart going up? So now, look at this. If you look at this, you see the floor price? That means, right, that's the bottom price that they sold for is 1.44. So right now, every single day, literally, every single day, someone messages me to buy my little guy. Every single day. Every day. I had to turn off my notifications because people are harassing me to try to buy this thing from me. So in 3 days, right? Today's Wednesday. 3 days, the thing is already doubled in value. So it's now going for 1.44 ETH. Look, that's the price. Now, if you try to buy some, let's go to buy now. Look at the prices. Now, remember, I paid 0.77 on Sunday. Look at the prices people are paying. Hit buy now, $5,000. That's what you got to pay. 1.49, 1.5, 1.5. So we're going to talk about all this stuff coming up. I bought that one. I'll show you my profile so you can see. There was a guy that was famous, not famous, but he owned some of the original NFTs, and he bought these ones. It's called JPEG People by Debbie. So I bought a couple of these. They were cheap. I bought this other one that was called Toy Boogers, and that one also was trending, going up as well. You can see. So I bought this one as well, Toy Boogers, that was referenced, that was trending. I bought this. 5 of these, people have already tried to buy them from me at higher prices. So, but I just want to share that with you because, you know, I'm getting involved to learn more so that I can tell people and show people how this stuff works, and I can educate them. So I just want to say that really today's not a conversation on NFTs. So we'll explain it in future videos. But today's not a conversation on NFTs. Like Carter says, NFTs have deeper value, perks, meetings, access to events, cars or tickets, movies. I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example since, hold on. Since Matt asked the question, let me give you an example, Matt. Let's say that my course, right? When I sold my course 2 years ago, my course was $497 or $297. And let's say that my course was an actual NFT. So you bought this electronic image, right, that represented your ownership in my course. And now that you have ownership in my course for $297, you could take my course, get the information, and then because you owned that digital asset, you could resell it to somebody else at a higher value. And because my course value has gone from $297 to $497 to $697 to $797 to $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,500, you could have technically gotten the course for free because you could resell your ownership in the course to another person who wants this, and you could have gotten all your money back. I hope that makes sense. Carter, yes, we are working on my own NFT collection. We are working on it. Yes. My man Matt says, whoa, blew his mind, Matt. Matt, blew your mind? Hey, right? That's some gangster stuff. Yes, Carter, I am starting my own NFT collection where this is the first part of it in the future is that we are, first, I want to educate you on what these things are. And like Nicole said, I want to teach you how to safely, smartly, intelligently put some funds into an investment and then eventually be able to understand this so that you can yourself invest in wallets, tokens, things that we have. So, and the way that I see it is all of the products that we're doing, right, is we want to, like someone asked me today, you know how many people, do you guys have any idea how many people ask me for funding? And one of my biggest challenges that I realized over the last 3 years is I've been teaching all of you how to win government contracts. And trust me, I have a laundry list of successful people. My boy just texted me yesterday and said he almost hit $1 million. One of my friends texted me, she did 2 million. And these are people that had zero. So what's going on is that I realized that my downside or the fault that I've had is the money aspect. We have not been able to find someone to help us secure funds so that we can actually have real exponential growth. We've all kind of had to have linear growth based on the amount of funds and access to what we have. And so while we are at the same time doing supplier credit and things like that, those are still limited in that approach. At some point, when you get to a certain level, you're going to need real capital. So definitely, I want to figure out ways in which the people who are controlling the capital, managing the capital, owning the capital, I want to find ways in which what they're doing with their money and how they're doing it so that we can have access to that capital, because we can take this same stuff, right? And whether people think it's video game money or they think it's metaverse, look, I don't play online games. I've never played online games, but I do understand the value in things. Man, this is so exciting. I don't even really want to leave. This thing is so exciting. By the way, hit the like button if you guys like the conversation. Somebody said, by the way, keep dropping questions. I'll keep spitting and y'all keep dropping questions. Shakarat, how are you? Where you been? So what are some factors that make the value of NFT goes down? So some of the factors that make the value of the NFTs go down is that the community behind it and the perks that they offer have no real value. So when you're looking at investing in NFTs, you got to make sure that they actually have real utility and value behind them. Otherwise, the project could be basically worthless. So you want to make sure that you're investing in products that actually have utility and value for the perks, and that's why the value goes up. Like what I gave the example of my course, we're constantly adding to the course. I'm constantly adding speakers, adding modules, adding lessons. Today, I learned, Yvette, did you finish the journey story? Yes, Yvette, I did finish my journey story. Today, on one of my projects, I learned something new today in terms of government. Hold on. I'm going to tell you what today. Just today. Where's it at? Let me tell you what I learned today. On one of my contracts, the government sent me this. So just today alone, right? Just today alone, on one of my projects, because of the supply chain crisis, the government gave me an extension of my contract. And so these FAR clauses that they use to give me the extension, when I see this kind of stuff, I think about you guys and girls, of course, and how if you're having the same objection and you're having the same challenges, then I can give you these FAR clauses that my contracting officer used with me to you can give to your contracting officer so that they can give you latitude in terms of flexibility for extending your contract terms. So all the time, I'm constantly learning. This literally came in today. So you can see here, delay in completing work rises out of unforeseeable causes beyond the control without the fault or negligence of the contractor. Bam! Isn't that some great language to use if you're having problems on one of your contracts? Signing discussion to figure out acts of the government in either sovereign or contractual capacity catch all epidemic supply chain issues. Boom! Look at that stuff. Like this is real. This is stuff that you can take to use when you actually have the same situation, you supply chain, you can use these same clauses, right? You can use the same clauses for yourself and your country. So for me, my intention is always is to bring it back to what I know best, which is government contracting. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff going on out here that I just think we should have a conversation we should talk about. Cardo K says here, if the artist continues to grow, musical hits, enticing event opportunities, and so is the fan base. As such, NFT continues to grow. Right now, popularity is driving NFT sector. And again, Carter said that. And he's correct. FOMO is driving the NFT sector. Just like everything else, there's going to be good and bad projects. And for that reason, Carter, we want to come on and we want to share that as well. So listen, very exciting. And for all the people that coming on, basically the journey story was that I discovered accidentally that I had this Ethereum sitting in my wallet from 2018. And so if you're coming on now, I accidentally discovered I had bought this. I used Coinbase in 2018. Think about it this way. Most of us never even heard of Coinbase. I was using Coinbase in 2018 and I didn't even know what I was doing. And so I paid $1,000 for these things, which if you think about it, $200 per token seemed like a lot of money today for the tokens, right? You're like, that's a lot of money per token. Everybody wants the 5-cent token or the penny coins and all that stuff, but a lot of those have gone to zero, right? They have no value. But this was one that they recommended to me. So I paid $1,000 for 4.5 Ethereum back in 2018. I didn't find this until last year. And today the value of that is this, 3,500 per coin. So that's the backstory. That's what prompted me to start learning about it, finding out more, researching, getting involved, and actually participating in this particular marketplace. Today, I have 10 what they call next generation coins in my crypto wallet here on my phone. I understand the different wallets. I understand how to transfer money from a brokerage account. And so we're going to be talking about that in upcoming videos. But listen, let me know what you guys want to learn more about in terms of this space and everything else. And always listen, get the like button, subscribe. One thing I will say, which I hope it doesn't apply to you guys, but turn on your notifications because I'm going to start going live more often. And so you don't want to miss out, because if I learn of something like what happened to me recently with, alien friends, right? So if I learn of something else like this, right, I'm going to share it with you so that you can get a chance to get in. So we'll be sharing upcoming lessons on how to get started in the future. But thank you for joining me today. I definitely want to get this off my chest. And I also want to say Happy New Year to all the wonderful people out there. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to having more conversations about this and much, much more in the very near future. Good night.